All right, so today I'm going to have you complete problem 60 on page 688 in your Applying AutoCAD book. And the drawing looks much like this one here. On the one in the book, it doesn't have any dimensions on it, so I have added dimensions onto this one to make things a little bit easier. You do also have a handout of this, so if you want to complete it from this handout, you can just do it from the handout. If you want to do it step by step with me, that's what I'm going to do here. So you can watch the video, do it step by step. If you have any troubles with any parts of it, just rewind the video just a little bit and rewatch that section, and you should be able to get that accomplished. Also, while you're doing this, if you have any issues, I'll be around the room, so definitely make sure and ask me, and I can help you through any problems you have on there and explain it a little bit more thoroughly. So I'm going to slide this one over here to the side and just get started. Typically, when we do things like this, I like to start with that largest circle out there on the outside. So I'm just going to draw a circle, and I'm going to go C, enter for circle. I'm going to pick my center point over here, and that is a diameter symbol that you see over here. That's a diameter of 16. So I'm going to hit D of 16 and put in that first circle. I'm just going to go ahead and work my way down and place in all these circles on this drawing. So next I'm going to go and hit my space bar to repeat my circle command. Pick the same center point with my O-snaps and put that next one in as a diameter of 15. And again, remember, hit D, enter for diameter, and then 15 and enter. Okay, I'm going to go next, spacebar to repeat my command again, hover again, pick my center point, a diameter of 14. My next one, my center point again, diameter of 6. My next one, spacebar again, and diameter of 5. My next one, it doesn't actually show a circle there, but this next one's showing you the 3.5. It's showing you the circle that these bolts are on. Those are the bolts that are actually going to hold your wheel into place on your rim. So we're going to go circle again with a diameter of 3.5. Okay. That has all those into place. And I think I might have typoed there. Actually, maybe I'm fine. I don't know. Kind of what I thought. I must have typoed. That is not a diameter of 3.5, so I'm going to erase that one out. I'm going to try one more time. D for diameter, 3.5, and enter. There we go. That one looks better. Okay, from this point, what we need to start to do is we need to start to get in some of these other details. So the details I'm going to start with is right there, the actual bolt. That's the bolt that's going to hold your wheel into place. So I'm going to come back over to my drawing here. I'm going to go C for circle. I'm going to connect it onto this quadrant right there at the top. And I'm going to put that in as a diameter of 0.75. Now, much like we did our bolts the other day, we're going to do a polygon again. P-O-L for polygon. I'm going to attach that polygon onto first I have to put my number of sides, which is 6. Then I'm going to attach it onto that quadrant once more time. And remember, this is where we had to do our inscribed or circumscribed option. I want to go circumscribed because I want it around the outside of that circle. So I'm going to go circumscribed and pick it right there on the outside, just like that, to that quadrant. And there I'm done. Now, here is a new command that you haven't seen before. This is the array command. So if you go AR, enter for array, you're going to select your objects it's asking for. So I'm going to select those two objects there and enter. Now I have to pick a type of array. A rectangular array would be like a row and columns of desk in a classroom. A path, you could follow along around an irregular path, or polar goes around a center point. So that's the option we're going to pick. It's polar, and we're going to pick our center point right out there at the center of the circle. And now it pops up with this. Up here I can make all kinds of different choices with this, the angle between them and all that. The computer will do the math for us. I'm just going to pick 5 because this is going to be a 5-bolt pattern. It doesn't do anything until I click out of that box, and now it does the math. There's 72 degrees in between, and 5 of them will now appear there on the screen. We're going to hit enter to accept that, and there we have our 5 bolts. Now with these bolts, it does recognize them all as one object. Later you'll learn a way to break those apart. Right now we're not going to be worried about that because we don't need to break apart that array. All right, next, we need to get some of these details in here. We're going to start with, first, this little spoke here of the wheel. It tells me it's 1 inch from that point, which is the center of my wheel, so I'm just going to use a layout line. I'm going to put my layout line all the way from the outside there to the center of my circle, to there. And then I'm just going to simply use the offset command. I'm going to go O enter for offset, 1 enter for 1 inch, and I'm going to offset on each side of that center line, like so. Now next, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this next little portion of it, which is this little rounded part that goes inside of here. For it, I'm going to offset again, and notice from the center to this outside edge, it says it's 0.75. So I'm going to come back over to my drawing. I'm going to use offset. I'm going to go 0.75, enter, offset that line 0.75 to there, and 0.75 over to there. Okay, so that right there all looks pretty good. Now the thing that we need to do next is notice these corners are rounded right here. Here and here, all the way around these corners are rounded. So what we need to do now is use a command around that. If you don't remember what that command is, that is the fillet command. So I'm going to go F for fillet. Next, I need to set the radius. I'm going to go hit R, enter for radius. So F, enter for fillet, R, enter for radius. And I'm going to set that radius to 0.25. All right, with that radius set, I'm going to go ahead and fillet this corner right here, to there. Fillet this corner, just hit spacebar to repeat it, from there to there. Spacebar again, from there to there. And again, from there to there. So that's got those corners all filleted around, and that looks pretty nice. Okay, now next, you notice this end of it's rounded over. Now, we did this the other day on the practice drawing. We used the fillet command, so I'm going to repeat my fillet command, go F, enter for fillet. And I'm going to pick on these two parallel lines. Now remember what happens when you do that. You click here and click here, rounds that over nicely on the end, and then hit the spacebar to repeat it, click here and here, rounds that end over nicely. But now it's really not in a position where we want it to be. We want this to be moved down. So we're just going to use the move command. That's M, enter for move. I'm going to select that arc. I'm going to enter once it's selected. And now it's asking me for a base point. I'm going to move it from that middle of it right there. So as long as you have your midpoint set on your O snaps, remember if you don't, you come over here and you can set your midpoint to your O snaps. I'm going to move it from that midpoint, get my triangle show up there, straight down to that intersection right there. Oh, and I missed it for whatever reason. I'm going to try one more time. Midpoint, come on. And it just disappeared. I'm going to undo that. Get it back. All right, one more time. Move. Midpoint there to that intersection there. Very good. All right, now next we're going to pan down here. Move from that midpoint up to that intersection right there. And that looks pretty good. Besides having some extra lines in there, it looks really good. I'm going to go ahead and come in here and trim out some stuff. I'm going to trim, TR, enter, trim out there, trim out there, there, and there. Now we need to erase out some of these center lines, or sorry, not center lines, layout lines. And I am going to go ahead and erase out that center line. Okay, from there, now I'm ready to put this around in this pattern again. And that was just array. So I'm going to go AR for array once again. I'm going to select all of those objects there, hit enter. I want to once again do polar. My center point is going to be the center point of the whole entire large circle out there. And 6 is what I want on this one. So I'm just going to hit enter and accept the 6. And there, it's pretty much done besides a little bit of trimming out and a little bit of erasing. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and erase out that layout line that I did there. I'm going to go ahead and trim out these portions here and here. And I'm going to do that all the way around. So I'm going to trim over here, there and there. I'm going to go ahead and trim down here on these. And once again down here. This is a little bit repetitive, sorry about that. Trimming to there. And to there. So that has all that trimming done. And this has this wheel looking really nicely. Now one more thing that I just noticed actually that I'd forgotten in the book. There is one more circle that goes right here. And that circle's a diameter of 2. That goes right there. And then there is another polygon inside of that. So we're going to go polygon again. I'm going to go 6-sided. Center point right there. And now in the book, this one it is inscribed. So we're going to pick the inscribed option. It really doesn't go straight anywhere. I really think it should be straight, so I think I'm going to go just straight up with it, so it points straight up with that one above, right to there. And that looks really, really good. So here's a great representation of what you have in the book that has some dimensions on it. Now what I want you to do from here, on your own, I want you to create one that you want to design. So there are a few more examples there in the book on page 688. You can either draw those from the book, one of those from the book, or go out on your own. Go out and search the internet. Find a wheel that you like. Find a design you like. If you have a really nice car out in the parking lot and you want to design the wheels on that, go for that. If you have a nice car out in the parking lot and you don't have nice wheels on it and you want a set of nice wheels, go out and find a design that you like and do it and draw those up. Now, I am going to be picky on this. They do have to be symmetrical. They have to go around in a symmetrical pattern. None of this, crazy. If you find some crazy wheels out there that are kind of all like freelance and non-symmetrical, I am going to kind of rein you in a little bit there. I'm going to put you with a few guidelines there. You can't do that. But if you want any other symmetrical wheel design that you find out there on the internet, that'd be great. What I'll actually do here on the video is I'll pull up a couple examples of some rims to show you and let you see that. So there's what you're going to be doing. You'll see an example here next on the video. All right, here. I pulled up a little search window. All I did is typed in rims on a search. If you have some specific rims, if you want rims for a Dodge Ram truck, search that. If you want rims for a 2020 Corvette, search that. But here are just some standard rims. Going down through here, any of these would be great choices. All these are nice symmetrical rims that go through. All of those, I would accept any of these. You will have to estimate some dimensions on that. What I do want you to do, however, is I want you to stay with the same basic dimensions I did on this. The outside circle should be 16 inches. The circle that your bolts bolt up to, I want that to be the same as what we had here, which is a diameter of 3.5. So other than those two measurements, your measurements in between, you can make those anything that you like on this and just use your own creativity. If you're struggling a little bit still with some of these commands, maybe pick something that's going to be a little bit more simple to do. If you're really getting this and you want to just kind of go crazy, pick some really awesome rims to design out there. But you can pick, there's an immense number of different designs here that you can pick from. So good luck on this and see what you can do. I look forward to seeing what you have. Thanks.